All right, we have some stuff to do today, so let's go ahead and check. So who did the homework yesterday?
Me.
Who did it? Let me see. Lisa did it.
Me.
Aisha.
I did it on the computer.
Yes. Hurricane, Katie. David, did you do the sentences? Remember, we're supposed to write our vocabulary or use our vocabulary words.
Yep.
Yeah? Okay, so I see. Who did it on? Did anyone have problems using Google Forms?
No.
No, we're all able to?
Bao giờ ăn?
Okay. So I made the first question is, the first question is, what is your name? All right, so I can know who is writing which sentences. Okay, so I see everyone who submitted their homework on Google Forms. So if you're having trouble doing it on Google Forms, you can just write your sentences on a piece of paper and send it to either me or Miss Fong Ang, so we have them, okay? So we're gonna look at a few sentences that some people had trouble with. We're gonna do our comprehension today, but first, let's look at some sentences that a few people had problems with. Okay, so the first one here, the bee fluttering around the flower. Okay, it's a good way to use the word fluttering, but we're missing a word in this sentence. Who can tell me which word we're missing? So let's look at our verb here. What is the verb in this sentence, Aisha?
Fluttering.
Okay, our verb is fluttering. And what's the end? What ending do you see on the verb fluttering?
In.
ing. And what word needs to go with our verbs that end in ing? Do you remember? We're missing a helping verb. Do you know it? Say, Lisa, can you help us? What helping verb are we missing?
Is.
Yep. We're missing the helping verb is. Right? When we see our verb ends in ing, we need to have a helping verb of am, is, or are. Because our subject, be, is singular, right? Be, we're talking about one be. So we need to use our helping verb is. Okay? The bee is fluttering around the flower. Okay. All right, let's look at another one. He pretend to be a fox in the play. Okay, so another one, this is another good use of the word pretend, right? He is acting as a fox. He's not really a fox, but we're missing something here. Say, David, what's the subject of this sentence?
He.
He, okay? And he, is that a singular subject or a plural subject?
Singular.
So since our subject is singular, what do we need to add to our verb, James? You see it? What do we need to add to our verb?
We need to add the S to our verb.
Yep. Because we have a singular subject. Remember, our verb and our subject need to be friends. So if we have a singular subject, we need to add an S to our verb, okay? He pretends to be a fox in the play. All right, good job. Let's look at another one. I express the gift. How can we change this sentence to make it correct? So when we express, that has to do mostly with like feelings, right? We express the way that we feel, or when you express something, maybe you can say it, you can sing it, you can, you can paint or draw, you can play music. Those are different ways of expressing how you feel. Okay, so I think someone is confusing the word express with the word accept. Okay, so you accept or take a gift, but when you express, that's talking about feelings. So how can we change this sentence to say, or to talk about feelings? Goku, are you there?
Yes.
Do you have any ideas of how we can change this sentence to make it better?
I don't know.
Well, so let's take away the words the gift, because we
Yes.
can't really express a gift, right? So what do we want to
Yes.
express? Think about a feeling that you'd like to express.
Happy.
Okay, so how would you express that you are happy?
Feeling good.
Say again.
Feeling good.
Okay, but how would you show people that you are happy or feeling good? What might you do?
Smile.
Okay, so we could say, I smile to express that I am happy. Okay, so that's how we can change our sentence to make it, or to use the word express in the correct way. I smile to express that I am happy. All right, let's look at another one. I grand my dad. So who remembers, what does the word grand mean? Chang'an, do you remember?
No.
So grand means big or impressive. Okay, so Chang'an, what kind of word do you think grand is? Is it a noun, a verb, or an adjective? If it means big or impressive, what kind of word is it?
Adjective.
It's an adjective. So since grand is a synonym with big, we can say grand is also an adjective. Okay, so we need to use, in this sentence, it's being used as a verb, which is incorrect. Okay, so we can't use this sentence. It would be the same as saying, I big my dad. Does that make any sense? No, so how can we, let's think of something that that is grand. Say, Jenna, what is something that might be big or impressive or grand? So we talked about buildings yesterday. What kinds of buildings are grand?
Big.
What, can you name a building that is big or grand?
Mountain.
Yes. So we could say Lotte Tower is what? Tom, can you finish the sentence for us, please?
Lotte Tower is grand.
Thank you. Lotte Tower is grand. So that is how we can use the word grand in a sentence. It's an adjective or a describing word, okay? Not a verb. Okay. Does anyone have questions about how we fixed these sentences? Does this make sense to everyone? Give me a thumbs up if it makes sense, so I know where we're at. David said he's yes. Katie says yes. Maradona says yes. Okay. All right, let's move on to we're going to read a story today. Okay, our story is My Name is Gabriella. Okay, if you have your Journeys book, go ahead and get your Journeys book out, and you can follow along as we read our story. If not, you can just look at the screen. Okay, so let's talk. The title is My Name is Gabriella. Our author is Monica Brown, and our illustrator is John Para. What is the genre of this story, Neymar? What's our genre here?
A biography tell about even in a parent life, as Judith look for.
Okay, so our genre is a biography. Thank you, Neymar. And a biography tells about events in a person's life. Okay, so if a biography tells about a person's life, say, Hurricane, is this going to be a true story or a made-up story?
True.
True story, okay? And which person is this biography about? Katie?
About Gabriella.
Okay, it's about a woman named Gabriela Mistral. So as we read, I want us to think, why is this person important? Okay, why did someone write a story about this real person? Okay, and let's think about the different events that happen in time order. So what happened first in her life? What happened next, then, after that? Okay, and what happens finally in the story? So the story's going to start when she's a little girl, when she's a child, and it's going to go all the way until she's an adult. So what events happen in Gabriela Mistral's life? Okay, so before we start, let's look at our question down here. Why are reading and writing important? Maradona, do you have any ideas?
It is important because if we don't read, we don't know anything.
Okay, so if we can't read, then it makes it difficult for us to learn, right? Good job. And Sophia, do you think that writing is important?
Yes, writing is important.
Why is writing important?
I think it will help.
What could we not do if we didn't know how to write? Would there be any books if no one knew how to write?
No.
No, right? So writing is important, so we can write our thoughts and our feelings down, right? Or we can write information down. Okay, so let's go ahead and start our story. So as we read it, I want you to think about that. Why are reading and writing important? All right, so My Name is Gabriella by Monica Brown, illustrated by John Para. My name is Gabriela Mistral. It is the name I chose myself because I like the sound of it. I love words and sounds and stories. Okay, so let's look at this picture over here of Gabriela Mistral. So there's a lot of different pictures behind her. Okay, do we see all of the different things behind her? Who can point out one of the pictures in her background? Alex, what do you see behind Gabriela?
The butterfly, birds, fruits, animal,
Okay, let's just choose one. Let's choose the
and
butterfly.
other.
Yes, we have many. Why might there be a picture of a butterfly behind her? What do you think, Alex? Why might there be a picture of a butterfly here?
Because Gabby she like.
Because she likes it. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so maybe she likes butterflies. Okay. Let's say, Engtom, what else do you see behind her?
The butterfly, the chicken, the monkey.
Okay, so we'll say we know we have a butterfly, we have a chicken, and we have a monkey. So why might these animals be here? Why would someone draw them with Gabriela?
I don't know.
Because she likes them, or she's afraid of them, or she dislikes them?
She likes them.
Probably because there are things that she likes. Okay. Hang on, what else do you see in this picture?
She's writing.
Okay, we see a pen and a book. Why might she have a pen and a book with her in this picture, Kangan?
Do she write?
Yep, she might be a writer. Okay, we'll find out later. Okay. What else do we see in here, Lisa?
Books.
Yep. Why might there be a picture of books? Why would someone add this?
She loves reading stories, so she has books.
Okay, it's a good idea. Maybe she loves to read stories. And Aisha, what else do you see in this picture?
There are some letters.
Letters. We have A, B, C. Why might there be the A, B, C's behind her?
Because she likes to write.
Okay, because maybe she's a writer. And we'll see later if we have anything else about the ABCs to learn. Okay, and there's one more thing here. Let's say Goku. Do you see this one here? Oh wait, sorry, Goku already had a turn. David, do you see this one here?
Yep.
What's this a picture of?
Of an earth.
Of the Earth. Why might there be a picture of the Earth behind her?
To show her where her live.
To show where she lives. Okay, anything else? Why else might there be a picture of the Earth? Any ideas?
To show where people live in different places.
So maybe we might guess that Gabriella, does she like to go to different places or she just likes to stay at one place?
She likes to go many places.
Okay, well, we can make that guess, right? If there's an Earth, the whole Earth behind her, maybe she likes to travel. Okay, we'll find out later. So these are all symbols or pictures that have meaning, and they all show the different things that Gabriela Mistral likes. Okay, so we'll find out if these are true in our story. Okay. When I was a little girl, I lived with my mother and Emelina, my sister, in a small house in the beautiful El Cuy Valley in Chile. From my bedroom window, I could see the Andes Mountains. When I couldn't sleep, I would look up at the mountains and wonder what could be beyond them. Zebras with polka dots, rainbow-colored flowers, angels reading books. So, what have we learned about Gabriela Mistral by this page? Katie, what have you learned about her so far?
I think she has lots of imagination.
Why do you think that she has a big imagination?
Because zebra with polka dots, rainbow color flower, and angel reading books. It's not real, but she wondered what it can be real.
Okay, so she's wondering or thinking about all of these things. Zebras with polka dots, rainbow-colored flowers, angels reading books. So she's imagining all of these different things. So we can say that Gabriela Mistral probably has a big imagination. Okay, good job. I loved words. I liked the sounds they made rolling off my tongue, and I liked the way they could express how I felt. When I saw a butterfly fluttering, I noticed the way the words fluttering butterfly sounded together, like a poem. I taught myself to read so that I could read other people's words and stories. I read stories about princes and princesses, about monsters, and about birds and flowers. So, how does Gabriela feel about words? Lily, how does Gabriela feel about words?
She likes the sounds they make.
Okay, so we know that she likes the sounds they made rolling where?
Off her tongue.
Okay. And how else does she feel about words, Harry Kane? So we know she likes the sounds they make rolling off her tongue. What else does she like about words?
The ways they could express how I felt. How
Okay.
I felt.
So she likes the way that she can express herself. Okay. So we can say that we know that she loves words, and those are the ways that tell us why she loves words. Okay. I also like to write poems, sing songs, and tell stories using the words that I knew. I told stories about happy times and sad times, about mothers and babies and little children. Tom, what kinds of stories does Gabriela Mistral like to tell?
But mothers, baby, and literature.
Mm-hmm. So she tells stories about mothers and babies and little children. Okay. What else does she tell stories about, Sophia?
He was tell a story about mother and babies and little children.
Okay, that's what Tom said. Is there any other kinds of stories she likes to tell about?
About happy times and sad times.
Okay. Happy times and sad times. All right, good job. So let's look at the main idea here. So if we have the main idea that Gabriela Mistral loves words. Okay, so what details from this page tell more about Gabriela Mistral loving words? Neymar, what's one way that she loves words? How can we tell?
I don't hear.
Okay, so listen as I read. So remember, the main idea is Gabriela Mistral loves words. So think of a detail as I read. I also like to write poems, sing songs, and tell stories using the words that I knew. How does she show that she loves words?
We sing a song.
Yep. She sings songs. What else?
Tell the story.
Tell stories. What else?
Write a poem.
Okay, so those are details that tell us more about Gabriela Mistral loving. Okay. I liked to play school with the children of my village. I pretended to be the teacher, and my friends Sophia, Ana, and Pedro were my pupils. Pedro would always say that I was mean because I made him write his ABCs until he knew all the letters of the alphabet. But I told him that the alphabet is important. How else would he create words and tell his stories without it? So let's look at the picture on page, let me finish reading. In our pretend class, we sang songs like, the baby chicks are saying, peep, peep, peep. It means they're cold and hungry. It means they need some sleep. That was Sophia's favorite song. During recess, we had fun running and chasing and laughing and playing. So let's look at these pictures here. How are the characters or setting or events similar to real school? Remember, this is just pretend school, right? Gabriela is pretending to be the teacher. So, James, are you there? How are these pictures similar to school in real life?
They are similar to school in real life because the teacher teach the students and they are playing together too.
Okay, so they're playing together. And who is the teacher here? What is the name of our teacher on these two pages? Aisha, who's our teacher here?
Gabriela.
Mm-hmm. Gabriela is the teacher. Is she a real teacher or a pretend teacher?
Pretend.
Yep, she is our pretend teacher. Okay. And why does Pedro think that Gabriela is mean? David, why does Pedro think Gabriella's mean?
Because she always told him to write ABC words.
Mm-hmm. And why does she want him to learn his ABCs? Why does she think it's important?
Because it will help him learn.
Okay. It would help him learn. And what does she want him to do?
Create words and tell his story about what without it.
Okay, so she's making him write his ABCs so he can create words and tell his stories. Okay, good job. When I grew up, I became a real teacher and writer. I taught the children of Chile, and many of my students became teachers themselves. I still wrote poems, happy poems and sad poems, stories of mothers and children. But I also wrote poems about animals, about parrots and peacocks and even rats. Okay, so now that Gabriella's grown up, what is her job, Lily?
Her job is teacher and writer.
Yes, so we know that she is a teacher and a writer. Okay. So she's teaching the children of Chile and she's writing poems still. Okay. And let's look at the picture on page 102. What does this picture show, Alex? What is this picture of here?
Picture of Gabriela and other students.
Mm-hmm. Is Gabriella a student in this picture?
Parrot, peacock.
Yes. Is Gabriella a student in this picture or the teacher?
The teacher.
Is it real or pretend?
The real teacher.
Yes. So now she's grown up and she's a real teacher. Good job. Okay. I also traveled to faraway places. I never saw zebras with polka dots or rainbow-colored flowers, but I met wonderful children and their teachers. I traveled to Europe, to France, and Italy. I traveled to Mexico. I traveled to the United States. Everywhere I went, I wrote and taught and met teachers. I saw how all over the world, people wanted their children to learn. My stories traveled the world with me. People liked to read my happy stories, my sad stories, my stories of women and children, my stories of parrots and peacocks, of old lions, and of the fisher folk who slept in the sand and dreamt of the sea. And because people from all over the world loved my stories so, I was given a very special prize, the Nobel Prize for Literature. When I accepted the grand award, I thought of the beautiful mountains outside of my window in Chile, of my mother and sister, of the children of my village, and of all the stories that still need to be told. The end. Okay, we're about to get cut off, so rejoin the meeting so we can do live quizzes. Okay, so before we get cut off though, how do we feel about this story? Who likes this story? Tom likes it. Lily, what do we like about the story?
Ha 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 ha.
What do we like about it?
About the picture.
You like the pictures?
Yeah.
Okay, David, what do you like about it?
I see the Nobel Prize. And
You like all of it?
I like the whole.
I like the imagination of Gabriella.
Yes, you like her imagination. Okay. What did we find out about her? Does she like to travel? Were we correct? Does she like going? Yep. In your homework will be in your reader's notebook today.
Oh.
So it says, let's see who's here. Wait a minute. Okay. So pages 38 and 39 in your reader's notebook. Okay, so
I have it.
An invitation. Gabriela Mistral is a famous writer who won an award for her writing. Gather some details about her life. So it says here on pages 92 through 95. Okay. Does Gabriela Mistral have a good imagination? How can you tell? Okay, so you need to answer the question either yes, she does have a good imagination, or no, she doesn't have a good imagination. And then give me reasons why. So let's look. If I see an answer like yes. Is this a good answer? What do we think, Angton? Is this a good answer? Why not? What is it missing?
Missing a sentence.
And reasons, right? We need to have, it says, how can you tell? So you need to give me details or an example from the story of why you think she has a good imagination or why you think she doesn't have a good imagination. Okay, so it gives you the page numbers already. Okay, so same with the next one. Gives you the page numbers. Gabriela Mistral liked to play school. Do you think she was a good pretend teacher? And then again, our word is, how can you tell? What happened or what does she do that makes you think she's a good teacher or a bad teacher? Okay, so read the questions carefully and make sure you're giving details from the story. Okay, it gives you the exact pages to look on. And then at the end,
Miss Lisa.
What?
I don't know what they mean. In page 39, they said, instead of a gift for Gabriela, please bring a gift for a local school. What does it mean?
I'm going to explain that right now. I haven't gotten to page 39 yet. On page 39, okay, it says, imagine you're having a party for Gabriela Mistral. Use what you learned about her life to finish the invitation. Okay, and then make an illustration to show something from her imagination. Okay, so we're planning a party for her. So we have who, what, where, and when. Read pages 104 through 106. Okay, say what you think Gabriela will tell her friends about her life. So if Gabriela had to give a speech or a talk about her life, what would she want to talk about? Okay, and then think about what you learned about Gabriela Mistral. What would she want for the schools? So instead of bringing a gift for Gabriela, you want to bring a gift for a local school. A school from that area. So let's pretend. So we're at her family's home in the Elqui Valley in Chile. So we're going to pretend we're going to go to a local school there, small school in Chile. What would you bring, or what would Gabriela want you to bring for the children of that school? Does that answer your question, Katie?
Yes.
Okay. So if you had to bring a gift for students at a school, what would you bring them? Okay? And then draw a picture from Gabriela's imagination. Does anyone have questions about how to do the homework? Nope? Okay.
No question.
No questions.